Howdy, I figured I would do something a little bit different. I wouldn't totally bore you with a bike ride video and at the same time be able to just have a little bit of a conversation with you. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. All over. I haven't been active on this channel or anything. I haven't been putting out anything really related to news or anything else because where do you go with it? There is so much misinformation, propaganda, so many agendas and influences.
The next comfortable seat to the one I'm using now.
Where do you even begin?
And it's a small.
And I've had a particular philosophy for quite some time.
I didn't have problems with it. I wanted something just a little.
And I don't just trust information from any one source. And once I realized that there's mismatches in information, which there is a lot of times, I do not, I remember what that information was, but I do not retain that information as if it were a fact. And I think that the powers that be are doing a remarkable job at confusing the populace. It's like they are throwing so many things at people so quickly. People don't get a chance to recover from one thing before being thrown into the next. And what makes it so much worse is this is happening to so many people at the same time. So many people have tons of different complexities in their lives that normally wouldn't be there. The world, I won't say just this country, the world right now is not unstable ground. I'm seeing the same all over. So what's the answer? Well, I don't know. Like I've always said, it starts from within. This isn't, and nothing is, a top-down. No. This like anything else that actually successful and actually has a firm foundation, bottom up. And that means us. That means we have to fix us. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that. One of the biggest reasons this channel never really got anywhere is because I often talk about things that people just do not want to hear. That's really neither here nor there, not to make it sound stupid, but I don't choose facts, folks. I wished I could, I think. I say that because do we really want that much control? If we had the ability to control anything, anytime, think about how mundane life would be. I don't know. Some people would enjoy doing that. There are points in my life to where I would have enjoyed doing that. But since that time, wisdom has worn out. There's conflict, of course, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Iran. I don't know where that's going to go. You know, there is a lot of times when watching different events unfold, once I see enough key details, I get a real good idea of where it's going to go. This situation that's going on with Iran, I ain't got no damn clue. Where does it go? You know, and I don't want to attach the Bible and or the Bible's prophecy to just anything and everything I can, but when I read the words of Revelation and supporting texts, I'm telling you, those times sound a hell of a lot like these times. And then when you match that up with the undeniable science, and this is what gets me on this. I can sit there and show you, without a doubt, what the North Pole has been doing. And if somebody actually takes a moment, slows down, puts everything else out of their head, just for less than 30 seconds, and watches a little animation, and putting everything else out of their head, when you really sit down and decipher what you're looking at, it's horrific.
I have no idea.
And if it doesn't seem horrific to you, then you don't understand what it truly is I'm talking about. And for those that don't know, I'm talking about pole shift. That's coming. We cannot do a damn thing to stop it. We are not going to stop pole shift. That's not going to happen. There is no amount of cloud seeding, there's no amount of nothing from no one that's going to stop this. So we first have to have that understanding that, okay, there's an issue. We have to address the fact that there is an issue, and then we have to look at that issue. But here's an overlaying factor over all of that. There are so many other things coming our way, and these things being things domestically, essentially. And when I say domestically, hell, it could be anything from your locality to the nation. You know, look at, and yes, I'm going to throw this in here. I have to throw this in here. But look at the nonsense with New Jersey and their e-bike laws. That is complete and utter nonsense. A lot of it's nonsense, to be honest. What they claim they're after and how they're going about it are two different things. They don't add up, and that's common. That's how they do it. They get us to acquiesce in one way or another, and a lot of times they use fear. First of all, they make it seem like, oh, we're going to do away with it. Nobody's going to be able to do this or enjoy this or have this or what have you, right? They'll scare the hell out of people thinking that it's just going to be done away with. And then they will come back with a mildly acceptable solution at a cost, right? At a cost. That's what's important. And I'm going to point to electronic cigarettes here, because it's the perfect example. And this is just that all over again. Because e-bikes and e-mobility devices, scooters, what have you, because they are becoming so popular, and because people's finances are so strained, and not just for those reasons. There's a gazillion different reasons why somebody chooses to ride an e-bike or an e-scooter. And they have a right to those reasons, and it's nobody's job to criticize them for whatever that ride is. If they just enjoy the ride, well, more power to them. If they're out there like me, trying to hopefully, I can't necessarily say turn back my COPD, but I hear that I can still build lung capacity and stuff, that exercising can help my situation. So I'm going to try.
Going so fast.
But this is much like that, because at first it was, okay, these are all bad, these are horrible, these are, you can't have these, we got to save your life, we got to protect you, right? It always starts with they got to protect us. And so they scared the hell out of the entire industry, and I was involved in the industry, so I'm very well aware of what went on. And it started with, and this was the interesting thing, it started with individuals coming into social media groups, whether it be YouTube, channels, whether it be Facebook groups, whatever, starting to demand some kind of a regulation, and it was all fear-based, right? Oh, we gotta have rules and regulations about the facility that this stuff is made in. We can't have somebody making it in their mom's basement. Okay, whatever. If you know anything about making e-juice, it's really not that technical. And if I make it on my damn living room table, that's perfectly sufficient. It's nonsense. But see, it kind of started that talk of, oh, wait, we might need to look at doing something about this, right? This may be a problem, right? Well, before it was all said and done with, the answer to the problem was to charge people an obnoxious amount of money to ship products with nicotine, liquid nicotine. It's a crazy fee for that. Plus, you got to pay your adult signature fee and all that nonsense, right? And then there's the taxes themselves that they put on the e-cigs. Now, here's what a lot of people don't know about. They don't know about let's talk about the manufacturer's side of it. So, let's say that you want to produce a particular flavor e-juice, right? So, in order to get approved, you have to send in, you got to have testing and send it in. And then there's, I don't know what the charge is now. I know that the charge at the time when they were setting it up was just stupid high. Okay, now get this. This had to be done for every single variation of that flavor you have. So when I'm saying that, what I'm saying is, if you have peachy orange, okay, if you got peachy orange, if you've got it in 3 milligram nicotine, well, that's got to be tested and submitted and approved. If you've got 6 milligram nicotine, well, that one also has to be submitted and approved. Oh, you've got 12 milligrams of nicotine? Well, yeah, you're certainly going to have that one approved too. So it's for every single nicotine strength, every single variation of a flavor there is. And there is an obnoxious cost to even being able to submit this paperwork, and for the lab testing, and so I mean, you pretty much killed the entirety of the small business, okay? Which we can argue about that too. Different video, different time, different bike ride, whatever. But, so again, it was made mildly acceptable via means of taxes and permits and fees, right? E-bikes, same thing, right? Scare the hell out of the people that they're going to get rid of it. And then after the people are good and scared, then what you do is you say, well, we'll give you this part of it. We'll give you a little bit of that freedom back, that privilege back, right? But you got to pay us for it. And you got to jump through this hoop and that hoop and that hoop. And
Go down the trail till we get to
the frustrating thing is anytime anything
we can go on the trail till we get to the road.
becomes popular and the government can figure out a way to extort money from us, they do. I mean, I didn't mean to go on a tangent of that. I didn't have anything in particular to talk about when I hit record. I just wanted to have a conversation. We could talk about all the flock camera stuff and all of that. Oh yeah, I know something that I'll mention to you. One second here. So I was starting to work on a book a little while back, and I've not really gotten anywhere with it. But I'm going to tell you the plot of it. Nothing like spoiling a plot before a book's even written, right? I don't care about that. If I do finish the book, the entertainment value of the book is what will carry it. So, not just what the ending was, or whatever, or the cause. So, with all this stuff going on, you've obviously seen all the stuff with like deflock and all this stuff. Well, I was in the process of writing a book, and essentially what the plot, the main plot of the book was, is that there was going to be a pushback. There was going to be rebellion, domestic terrorism, and that it was going to be people that were, against the AI data centers and all of the surveillance and, all that nonsense, that it was those folks that were doing it. Folks, I see that as a very real possibility. I really do. There's just something that tugs at me with that thought. So, I'm going to put it out there. With as much as that tugs on my spirit, I'm certainly going to throw it out there. Anyway, myself, I've just been trying to push on. I think that's about all we can do. Like I said, it seems like a whole lot of us. When I say us, I'm talking about just people in general. People like you and I have a heightened level of stress. I don't know, the world is off. Feels like it's really off balance. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like firm ground. And the ground it feels we are standing on in this nation and possibly on the entire planet feels about as loose as it gets. I would keep an eye out for threats like I just mentioned, and I think you're going to see an increase in devices being disabled or otherwise destroyed or what have you. Talking about like the flock cameras and stuff like that, because apparently that's happening. Humanity right now is standing at a crossroads. And I'm not even sure that we're really standing there anymore, or if it just might appear that way and we're already in deep. Not sure which one of those two it is. Very possibly could be the latter. We have to somehow put a stop to the progress of what's going on as far as taking away every single bit of our privacy. Man, I'm telling you, when it was said that we will own nothing and be happy, that was damn well meant. And I think that even includes your data. I really do. I've said it before. I think a large reason for the push of the data centers is to get rid of personal computers. Make everything cloud computing. If they make everything cloud computing and you basically just have a terminal in your home, then that means they control absolutely 100% of the data. Just because something was there yesterday doesn't mean it's going to be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they have complete control of that. Now think about that. We often hear people talk about the powers that be controlling their thermostats, or paying attention to how many times they open the refrigerator door. Imagine if the powers that be had the ability to erase your life. All of your personal photos, all of your personal videos, all of your digital certificates and this, that, and the other thing, your digital identity as a whole. They could just click X. And it'd be like you never existed. Damn sure don't sound very happy to me. But it damn sure seems like one of the goals of owning nothing. I don't think they even want you to own your individuality. And I think that that has been being attacked for at least the last couple of decades. Real hard the last decade. Real hard. They got people to go against everything that they stood for, and all they had to do was cause a little bit of rift. Right? Colin Kaepernick or whatever his name was, Bubba Wallace. I mean, you pick the sport. They had somebody that had some kind of woke incident or something or another happen, and people are burning their gear, they're doing this, they're swearing off the sport. Some of them never returned. Others probably didn't stay out of it for a week. Whatever. But that's what was happening. And when you look at it just from one man or one woman's perspective, it may not seem like much of a big deal. But when you pull back and you look at it from a wider view, and you don't look at just one sport or one hobby or whatever, you don't just look at one, you look at them as a whole, you will see a pattern, a very clear and definite pattern. And it's like they are going from one interest to another and getting people to throw it away on their own accord. And the more individuality that they take from each and every one of us, the closer they are to controlling every single damn aspect about us. We have to take our lives back. And I got nothing on how we should go about doing so. Well, I haven't been making content. I don't want to make content just to make content. I don't want to be just another person on YouTube talking about the day's events.
Huh? What?
Certainly can't stand those that have to try to fearmonger about every single damn thing that happens.
A lens?
There's so much of a push right now on social media for people to just be completely emotionally just out of their damn minds about whatever it is that they're quote unquote passionate about. And everybody seems to, not everybody, but you know, there's that faction of individuals that want to take everything to the absolute extreme, to the very, very furthest extent possible. I don't know, we got to figure something out, folks, and it's up to us. We can't expect anybody else to fix this problem. We damn sure can't expect the powers to be to fix the problem, because they're the reason the problem's happening to begin with. This is intentional. This is to weaken us at every level, every single level, to weaken us as a nation, to weaken us as a community, to weaken you as a individual, to weaken you as a family. Because if any one of those things has strength, if any one of those things has hope, that's all it takes is one spark to ignite that fire. And they're doing every damn thing they can to snuff it out. We have to figure out how to get ahead of that. We have to figure out how to get back control of our lives, our information, our privacy, our stability, our rights to live in peace and to pursue that happiness that we were promised. That's it. Looks like this ride's about over. I'll be in touch again soon. Hope y'all have a good one. Shalom.